Hello everybody, this is Mr. Rob and welcome back to another episode of the Athletics franchise here on MLB The Show 24. Today we are going to get through another week of the season to start off with another matchup against a division rival. We haven't seen a lot of division rivals in this year, so hopefully we can start to see them and see how they look in the upcoming weeks. If you're excited for this one, make sure you drop a like and you subscribe down below, especially if you want more franchise content. And this is a big series because this is our first look at the Angels. Both teams come in 20 and 27, tied for fourth in the AL West. So whoever wins this series is not in last place in the division. Logan Allen will be on the mound for the Angels, and Bryson Stott, the two-time Gold Glover like usual, will lead off for Las Vegas. Cloudy day here in Anaheim as Stott will hit this one into right, where it will be caught by Taylor Ward, and we'll take a look at how the Athletics line up today. Robbie Martin in the 2-hole, followed by Tyler Soderstrom, Daniel Susac getting started at DH, Kevin Alcantara in center, Jacob Wilson at third, Clark Elliott in right, Elliot Ramos in left, and Rhino in first. This team 160 runs scored this season. That is dead last in the American League. So the offense struggling to begin the season. Martin up next with a 3-1 pitch, and he will hit this one up the middle. And the former University of Georgia Bulldog has the first hit of the day. That'll bring up Tyler Soderstrom, a two-time All-Star in his right, but has really struggled since those All-Star seasons, only hitting a 189 currently this year. Lefty-lefty matchup, but he will hit this one into left for a base hit. So that's two straight singles here for the Athletics, and that'll bring up Daniel Susac, hitting over 300, but he puts it on the ground up the middle, and what a play. Beautiful diving stop, only gets the one at second, but it was a great defensive play. If that gets through, it could have scored a run. Now Kevin Alcantara with a chance to drive in the runner from third. He gets jammed on a fastball, puts it into right, but it will be caught. So despite the two early hits, the A's get nothing. On the mound for them will be Jared Jones, who has struggled. He's been very up and down in his career. His last four starts, he has a 4.50 ERA, so that's better than what we've seen. Trevor Larnach, the left fielder, will lead off for the Angels, and he'll start the day by grounding it over to Wilson, who makes a nice backhanded stop and throws him out at first base. Here's a look at how the Halos will line up in this game. Nick Maton at third base, followed by the four-time AL MVP Mike Trout in center, Logan O'Hoppe at catcher, Jake Bauers at DH, Zach Neto at short, Ernie Kim at second base, Taylor Ward at right, and then Evan White in first. One side note, I know Mike Trout has moved to right field in real life. We are going to make that change after this series, but for this series, Trout will be playing center field, and here's Nick Maton, a third baseman, who will hit it into right field, and that'll be the first hit for the Angels. A one-out double. Here is the aforementioned Mike Trout, four-time MVP, 14-time All-Star. The awards are just racked up for the Millville Meteor. And he hits this one right back to Jones, who makes a great gloving play on that to throw him out at first base. Two down now for Logan O'Hoppe, the catcher for the Angels, with the runner on second base with a 1-0 pitch, and he hits this one well to straightaway center field, and Alcantara will look up, and it's gone. A two-run shot for Logan O'Hoppe, and the Angels are on the board first. His third home run of the season, and we've seen the Athletics struggle with a long ball in recent weeks, and well, it comes back again here as he gives the Angels an early lead. That'll bring up Jake Bauers up next, hitting designated hitter for the Angels with a sub-200 average, and he gets plunked. Fastball runs inside on him, and now Jones struggling to get out of the inning. Zach Neto up next, the Gold Glover from a season ago at shortstop. He inherits a 2-0 pitch, hits it on a line, but Martin will glove it. So the Angels do get one in the first. We'll go back to the top of the second. Here's our All-Star from last year, Jacob Wilson, who's starting to come around, but he pops this one up into right field for the first out of the inning. I'll bring up Clark Elliott up next, average down to 287. It's been above 300 for most of the season, but he's hitting a little bit of a cold streak. And with an 0-2, he gets caught fishing on a low sweeping curve. Nice pitch by Allen. So quickly two down now, and that'll bring up Elliot Ramos. His average is also down below 200, despite leading the team with 8 homers. But he strikes out here on the high fastball, and Allen's through 2 good innings. That'll bring up Ernie Kim to start off for the Angels, the former number 6 overall pick back in 2024 by the Royals in the first draft of the series. And on a 2-0 pitch, he hits this one well to center. And again, Alcantara will watch it fly as this is a solo homer for Ernie Kim. To straightaway center it goes, his 4th home run of the season. And Kim's got some power. Not sure how the Angels picked him up, but I'm glad, well, I bet they're glad they did. I think Ernie Kim's a nice young bat. And well, he goes on display here, gives them a 3-0 lead. Taylor Ward up next, hitting .287 on the season with a .909 OPS. A good season for the Angels right fielder. 2-1 pitch to him here, and he'll chop this one up up the middle, and Martin will give it a good effort. It's past his diving glove, and it's a leadoff, well, not leadoff, but another hit for the Angels. That'll bring up Evan White, who's hitless this season. Hasn't had the most at-bats, but an 0.000 average is not good, and he'll stay that way as he strikes out on the slider. First out of the inning will bring us back to the top of the lineup. Here's Trevor Larnach, grounded out to begin the day, and this time his ground ball will get through the infield, and it's another base hit given up by Jared Jones. Again, the inconsistencies of his game has plagued him in the early parts of his career. As here's a nice play by Stott to bat the ball down, and a heads-up move by Martin to throw him out at first base. So now 2 down now. It's Mark Trout with a 1-1. He'll chop it to Stott, and disaster avoided there, as the Angels do get 1, but it could have been a lot more. Bottom 3 here with 1 down, and Jake Bauers wants to go deep. He turns on this one to right field and is way out of here into the tunnel. A solo home run for Jake Bauers, and the long ball continues to be a problem. His 7th home run of the season. It goes 441 to right. The Angels now lead this game 4-0 off of their 3rd home run of the afternoon. Bottom 4 now. Here's Evan White, still hitless this season with a 2-0 pitch. Hits it well to right. And this one's going to get over. Another home run for the Angels, and this time it's to a guy who has yet to get a hit this season. His first hit of the year is a home run, and the Angels had tag on another, as again the long ball continues to be a problem. Can we stop throwing them meatballs, please? That would be great. 5-0 Angels now as we go top 5. Our offense has been non-existent today, which has unfortunately been a theme. As here's a good example here. Fastball right down the middle, good timing, and he pops it up into center. If that was the Angels getting that pitch, that would be going 450. Next batter is Clark Elliott. He does draw a walk, so we'll take that, our base runner at least. And then I'll bring up Elliot Ramos, who we saw strike out in his first at-bat. In danger of again here with the 2-2, and he'll do just that. Times up a changeup well high. He just swings through it. Can we put the bat on the ball, please? 6K of the day for Allen. We'll bring up Ryan Noda, who grounded out back in the 3rd, as he has a 1-2 pitch here. And Noda will swing at a slider. I don't think he went around, but we're not getting the calls today. Nothing's going our way. This is 5-0 Angels, and A.J. Puck will grace them out here in the bottom of the 5th. Jones's day is done. It'll be a bullpen game the rest of the way. First batter he faces is Logan O'Hoppe, and he will pop this one up behind home plate. And Soderstrom will put it away for out number 1. Jake Bauers up next, another guy who's homered today. Tries to go to the opposite side of the infield. A nice play by Jacob Wilson to throw him out for out number 2. Trying to get a 1-2-3 inning. Here's Zach Neto into center field, and Alcantara will get it. So we will get the 1-2-3 here in the 5th. Next inning, Garrett Whitlock comes in relief. Puck would start the inning, but will quickly be replaced by the former Blue Jay, who's been pretty decent this season. He has 2 down here for Evan White, and White will get underneath the slurve. Hit it pretty high and well into left center, but it dies out in the glove of Alcantara. Top 8 now, 1 down. Robbie Martin at the plate. A's still scoreless today as he grounds this over to 3rd. And a airmail throw into the dugouts. That's an E5. Goes against Maton, and all of a sudden the A's with a chance to score a run. That'll bring up Soderstrom. He does have 2 singles today. Trying to go for a 3rd hit here, and he will hit it over to 3rd. Going to be a tough play for Maton, and he won't get him. So that's 3 hits on the day for Soderstrom. Now Martin did have to hold at second because of the... not sure if that was going to get through. So there's 2 on, and that'll do it for Logan Allen. Justin Martinez comes in relief. Allen, no earned on the day, but he is responsible for the runner on first base. Martinez having a good season in relief. He has 1 down for Daniel Susac, who swings through a changeup right there. So 2 down now, in danger of stranding the runners. Here's Alcantara, and he will pull it to 3rd, and that will end the inning. A's scoreless still through 8 innings. We'll go into the bottom of the 8th. Whitlock still on the mound, and Jake Bauers up first. This time he will beat the shift, as this one will die in left field. And that'll be a leadoff double for Jake Bauers. He slides into second base safely. In business are the Angels. Next batter, Zach Neto. First pitch, hits it well to right. This one's got some carry, and it clears the fence. Gives him a chance as Clark Elliott, but he can't rob it, and that's a 2-run shot for the Angels. Zach Neto's 6th of the season. They now lead this one at 7-0, as this has just been an embarrassing performance overall by the Athletics, I gotta say. Jose Soriano will get the 9th inning for the Angels, just trying to get some work. He hasn't been good this season, but he's inheriting a 7-run lead. First batter he faces will be Jacob Wilson with a 1-1. He just pulls it over to third. Maton, who's been busy today, will throw him out at first base. How about the 7-hole hitter, Clark Elliott, also hitless today. He did draw a walk earlier. He grounds a sinker down the middle over to second base, and that's quick 2 down for the A's. Game comes down to Elliot Ramos, who's hitless on the day with 3 Ks. Why not make it a golden sombrero? He strikes out to end the day, and the Angels win this one with ease by a final score of 7-0 here in Anaheim. Just an embarrassing performance by the A's. The pitching was terrible. The offense couldn't muster up more than singles, which has been the problem for this team. This game was the exact perfect example of that. The home run being issues for the pitching staff, and the offense can't get more than 1 basers. Struggling to hit the ball deep, can't get extra bases. We had 6 hits in this day. All 6 hits were singles. The Angels had 5 home runs in this day, almost as many homers as we had base hits, and that was not a recipe for success. We do win 9-2 in the second game, coming alive a little bit with Noda going deep. We get a good performance out of Ken Waldachuk, 7 innings of 1 earned run ball. Other games to look at in the week, we'll see the Tigers up next. They beat the Phillies in a pretty impressive win for Detroit, who are trying to turn their season around in a 6-5 victory over the Phillies, getting to Dylan Cease in this game. Game 3, we also win it 2-0, so we do take the series as Ryan Noda goes deep again, and we get a good performance out of Robbie Francisco, 8 2/3 scoreless. That's what we want to see out of the young man. We are going to make one roster move for the offense. Sammy Ciani will be in the call-up. Elliot Ramos has been the everyday left fielder, and that's not working, so we'll get Sammy Ciani a chance, and we'll send down Richie Veach, who just hasn't really got playing time with us at the majors. So second half of the episode, we will return home to Las Vegas to face the 24-27 Detroit Tigers. The Athletics now 22-28 on the season. Our beautiful Las Vegas venue for a 3-game set against Detroit. 2 teams in similar scenarios. Both teams under 500. I think both these teams had playoff aspirations at the beginning of the season. This is an important series for these 2 teams. They met 3 weeks ago where Detroit took 2 of 3 in Comerica Park. And on the mound today for the Athletics will be the 2020 AL Cy Young Award winner in Shane Bieber, going with our ace, who's been pretty solid to begin this season. The former Ranger, Leody Taveras, will lead off for the Tigers, and with the first pitch of the ballgame, he'll ground this out to Ryan Noda, who makes a nice spin throw to get him out at first base. And we'll take a look at how Detroit lines up today. We'll see all the starters today. It'll be Wilfredo Antunes at DH, Jordan Walker in left, Ryan Jeffers the catcher, Xavier Isaac at first base, Michael Massey at second, Brett Beatty at third, Jordan Lawler at short, and Chase DeLauder in right. We've talked about how aggressive this team has been in their roster reconstruction in recent years. Here is Antunes up next with an 0-2, and he'll chop this over to short, where Martin will make the play, and is quickly 2 down. For the former St. Louis Cardinal, Jordan Walker acquired at the deadline last year in a pretty big move for the Tigers. Riding an 8-game winning streak coming into this game as he hits this one well to right, and it looks like it will extend as this one will jump on the warning track over the wall for a ground rule double. So the Tigers in business all of a sudden. Here's Ryan Jeffers, and he will strike out on that ball low looking. Asa Lacy, the lefty on the mound for Detroit, 4.59 ERA through his 4 starts this season. He's played a little bit out of the starting, played a little bit out of the bullpen as well. Bryson Stott will lead off for the Athletics. The former Philly steps into the batter's box, and the first pitch he sees, he'll hit it into the left field grass past the diving glove of Beatty for a leadoff single. So we know we can hit the ball for singles. Can we actually do something with it? Here's Robbie Martin up next with a 1-0 pitch. Gets a nice curveball, and he will actually deliver this one into the gap for a double. It looks like Stott from first will score in the Athletics this time. Not wasting any time scoring the ball. It's a RBI double for Robbie Martin, and the A's lead 1-0. Soderstrom up next, average at 199. It'll be above 200 now as he singles up the middle. And Martin waved home, and he will score. It's an RBI single for Soderstrom. And the A's lead this one 2-0. They have yet to record an out. Daniel Susac in at the 4 spot today, playing DH once more. As the 2-2 pitch here, trying to keep the rally going, and he will swing a miss on an inside fastball. First out of the day for Asa Lacy comes by way of the K. That'll bring up Kevin Alcantara, who grounds it over to first, and they will unconventionally turn to 2. But the A's do get 2 in the first inning as we go top 2 Xavier Isaac leads off for the Tigers, leads the team with 35 RBIs in the season. He's looking to add some more. Hits this one well into center field. It will drop over the head of Alcantara. Stay in the ballpark, and the rookie first baseman trying to leg out a triple, and he will. And a triple for Isaac to begin the day. The Tigers trying to bring in a runner immediately. Michael Massey up next at second base here for Detroit, tasked with trying to score that runner. And he will do just that. 2-0 pitch laced into center field. 114 off the bat. It's an RBI double for Massey. And the Tigers all of a sudden are on the board 2-1. And they have nobody out here in the second inning. Brett Beatty comes up next. He would be out. That'll bring up Jordan Lawler, playing at shortstop today for the Tigers, the former Diamondback, with a first pitch swing over to Martin, who will ground him out and throw him out at first base. So 2 down now, trying to strand the runner. Got to get through the right fielder, Chase DeLauder, who has struggled this season, batting in the 9-hole. 1-2 pitch, looks at a knuckle curve beautifully on the corner. The Tigers at least cut the lead down to 1. We'll go top 4 now. Michael Massey with 1 down will draw a walk, so that'll bring up Brett Beatty once more, who did pop out in that bat we did not see a moment ago. 1-1 pitch here, hits it well into right field. This one going back at the track. Elliott will make the grab. That one was allowed. Out number 2. I'll bring up Jordan Lawler again. 1-0 pitch over to left field, and this will get through. And Bieber again getting himself in a little bit of trouble here. Trying to get out of the inning. It's Chase DeLauder with a full count pitch, and he destroys this one to right. This one is gone. A 3-run shot for Chase DeLauder, and all of a sudden the Tigers have the lead. Why can we not keep the ball in the ballpark? This is Shane Bieber we're talking about. This isn't Jared Jones or Robbie Francisco. Shane Bieber can't even keep the ball in the ballpark. And the Tigers now lead 4-2. Top 5. How about another? Runner on first, Xavier Isaac up. This one's gone to center. It's now 6-2 Tigers, and I don't even know what to do at this point. Any pitcher we throw on the mound just sucks. It doesn't matter if it's Robbie Francisco, Shane Bieber, Mackenzie Gore. They're playing like Tim Lincecum with the Los Angeles Angels. This is unacceptable. Quite frustrating, actually. And all of a sudden, we're down 6-2. Brett Beatty in the 6th. How about another? That ball's out of the zone, and he pulls it to right field for a home run. I mean, at this point, I'm just throwing my hands up in the air. I don't know what to do. It doesn't matter who we throw on the mound. It doesn't matter who we put on offense. This team just sucks. 8th home run of the season for Beatty. It's now 7-2 in favor of the Tigers. I know they're a good team and all, but they're not this good. Bieber should have no problem with them. Wilmer Flores comes in relief for Detroit all of a sudden with a 5-run lead thanks to the absolute terrible performance from Shea Bieber. 2-1 pitch to Martin to start the 6th inning, and he will ground this one out to third base. Hey, I get a good timing swing. Why can't I hit a home run? Soderstrom up next, swings through a changeup low. That's just a nasty pitch from Flores on the low breaking ball. 2 down now for Daniel Susac, hitless on the day. He gets a hanging curveball. He does rip it into left. Thankfully, this one will drop for extra bases, as that should happen, as it will get corralled by Walker, but it's a 2-out double from Susac. Now we'll just see if we can actually bring home the run this time. It'll be Kevin Alcantara. You can see the splits. Doesn't do good against righties as much as he does against lefties, but he's been one of our better clutch hitters this season. 0-1 pitch to the center fielder, and he'll hit this one up the middle, and it will get through. Susac will be sent, and it will be an RBI for Alcantara, who continues to be one of our best clutch hitters. It's now 7-3. There's the rally in order. Jacob Wilson up next hits this one, and I thought that was going to be extra bases. Instead, it's caught out in short outfield territory. Garrett Whitlock comes in relief for the A's as that average and the ERA continues to just go up to 287 now on the season. And Tuna is up first for the Tigers, and he gets plunked because, again, it doesn't matter who we throw on the mound. They just don't know how to command their stuff. Walker up next will ground this to Wilson, and thankfully, that'll be a double play. Quickly, there's 2 down for Ryan Jeffers, the former Twin and 2026 playoff MVP of that squad. He is hitless on the day, which means he'll probably get a base hit here. And with a 1-1, no, he will not. He'll ground it to Noda, and for the first time all game, we have a 1-2-3 inning. Bieber went 6 innings and didn't get a single 1-2-3 inning. Bottom 8 with 2 down. Here's Soderstrom, who gets a inside fastball, but musters it out the center, and that one is gone. A solo home run. We call that a Soder pop here, thanks to Toby Rohr in the comments. Because all of a sudden this one's within 3. 7th home run of the season for Soderstrom. And I'm still waiting for the average to come around. The power is still there. He's just got to hit for contact a little bit more consistently. That'll bring in the Mountain Felix Bautista for the Tigers, the 2023 reliever of the year. He came over on a 3-year deal from the Orioles this offseason. And he needs to get one out here in the 8th, and he'll do it against Daniel Susac. So that'll send us into the 9th inning now, where Joe Barlow comes in relief for the A's, having his worst season in an athletic uniform with a 3.68 ERA. He's been our go-to reliever for the past few seasons, and it's not been the case this year. Jordan Lawler up first gets this one into left, but it's caught by Sammy Ciani, who is playing in his first game as an Athletic this season. Jace DeLauder up next, grounder over to Stotts. And that's quickly 2 down for Barlow as we turn it over to the top of the lineup. Taveras, who signed the big 4-year, $46 million contract in the offseason, will pop this one up in foul territory. So it'll make it 7-4 going into the 9th. Where Ken Mays in relief for the Tigers. 6 for 6 on save ops this year since coming over to be their closer. ERA doesn't look the best though, but he's had a good run support whenever he has come into the game. In the bottom of the 9th, here's Kevin Alcantara, who hits this one well into right center. And that'll be a leadoff double for the former Chicago Cub. So already at least we're in business now. Wilson up next to the full count, swings at a pitch he shouldn't have. That would have been ball 4. Instead it's strike 3. Clark Elliott up next, who singled back in the 5th. Has the runner on second base. First pitch to him, and he gets a high fastball. Tries to turn on it, but it's lazily flown into right, and that will be caught. The game comes down to the 8-hole hitter in Ryan Noda. 0 for 3 on the day, 1-1, and he will hit this one into left. So that'll keep the game alive. Alcantara will hold at third. No reason to send him home. That'll be up to Sammy Ciani to keep the game alive. 0 for 3 in his first game of the season. 1-1 pitch here, gets a changeup right down the middle with good timing, and he just bashes it in the ground to second base, because of course he does. And we lose this game by a final score of 7-4. If you can tell by my commentary in this game, this one was frustrating. It didn't matter what we did. The pitching just continues to be bad. They throw countless meatballs, whether it be Shane Bieber, a former Cy Young Award winner, or anybody for that matter, and they just get nuked. I don't know what to do. I'm toyed with maybe switching some things up, going down to Hall of Fame. But it's just frustrating in games like this. And we lose this one 7-4 against the Tigers to lose game 1 of this 3-game set in Las Vegas. Other games around the league, Pittsburgh and New York. This could be a World Series preview. And Shane McClanahan dominates the Yankees, a complete game shutout. The Pirates continue to be one of the best teams in baseball. We also see the Dodgers. They said hold my beer, 13-0 over the Nationals. Despite their 29-21 record, I still would not want to play the Dodgers if they make the postseason. Game 2, we lose 4-2 as we continue to struggle, giving up all of our runs via the long ball, and we weren't able to get a long ball of our own. 7 hits, only 1 extra base hit. Your Saturday games of the week, the Mariners beat the Angels, and Seattle holds the lead in the division. It's a weak AL West, a division we should be able to take advantage of. We just haven't been able to do that thus far. And then your baseball night in America game of the week, the Phillies beat the Diamondbacks 5-0. Philadelphia still underneath 500, but they beat a very talented Arizona team that did represent the National League in the World Series last year. So that's a big win for them. We get a trade, and it's an interesting one. The Rockies trade Estevan Cervantes to the Rangers for Reese Olson. 1, because it's division rival. 2, because they just got Olson last year from the Tigers at the deadline. He's a pretty decent pitcher, but he hasn't played this year. And 3, Estevan Cervantes was a former number 1 overall pick in this series, and he got traded to the Rangers. I know he hasn't played out like he should have, but he's still a former number 1 overall pick. We lose Game 3 to the Tigers as well, which means we get swept by Detroit. Yes, we dropped to 22-31, an embarrassment of a series. And now we got to stay at home against the Rays and the Rangers, 2 teams, again, who I think we should take advantage of. But with the way this team is playing, they can't take advantage of anything. Something's got to change if we want to get back in this race. It's not over yet. There's still over 100 games to go. But this is not the Athletics team that we dished out money for this offseason to try to improve. Obviously, something's missing, and we got to try to fix that if we want to make any sort of run at the postseason. But thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. Sorry about my frustrations. It's just, sometimes it just bleeds through in the commentary. If you enjoyed, make sure you drop that like, you subscribe down below, especially if you want more franchise content. This is Mr. Rob, and I'll see you in the next one.